Uh, when we talk about grant making, we talk about really the heritage that he had. And in the city and county of Denver, in the Denver metro area, El Pomar has and continues to play a significant role. The fact is, we're the same age as the Betcher Foundation. We each celebrated our 75th anniversary 2 years ago, and it's really, I think, made a difference, both of those foundations. And with new foundations which are really doing well, certainly the Daniels Fund and the Anschutz Foundation, this state, this community is certainly endowed, no pun intended, endowed well with foundations. When you look around, you have to go to Texas in the West to find another state which has the basic assets that this state does. Let me go to the next slide, if I may. We're really proud of this slide because this is at the end of 2014, and probably after today, we're still a little above that $573 million mark. But the last few days, for those of you that are in the market or work in the market, it hasn't been particularly pleasant. But that's what we've done. We started with $21 million. That was his original gift, along with Mrs. Penrose, who gave the rest of her estate in 1957. The $21 million, currently, actually, it's about 585 today in 2015 assets. And we've made grants of almost 500 million now, with 80 million in programs. Programs. Have you ever been to Penrose House, to any of you, for an event? We encourage you to use this in your nonprofits. We have a 29,000 square foot home, which was Mr. Penrose's, that we've converted for conference use. We have 16 meeting rooms in the pavilion. We can go up to about 400 people. And then in the other rooms, we have some where it'd be as small as a dozen or maybe 20. Interesting thing, how many of you remember, as you reach back, as I have to do occasionally, 1994 and the Winter Olympics, which were in Norway and in Lillehammer. And there was an instance which occurred between Tanya Harding and now you know, and Nancy Kerrigan. Well, we had, let's go to the next slide. I'm a little off. Well, I'll tell you about it anyway. The fact is that the hearing was held at Penrose House. And I chaired the Tanya Harding hearings. And I'll tell you, the things that I've gone through in my life, that was the most interesting. You wouldn't believe the characters. They came out of Central Casting. When you would get a chance to look at them, and you may remember some of the people that were on television, that testified, that really moved their way through this tragic event, which was almost a comedy worth of either Athenian or Roman drama. But anyway, that's what occurred. Let me get back to this. We'll hear about that in a moment. The 10 top grants, Colorado College has been our top recipient of grants. And you can see as you look down, University of Colorado at 6th. And this is the interesting thing, and you can't see it. It's down here at the bottom. But if the United States government were a recipient other than an excise tax recipient, they would be number 4. At about 18 million over the course of time. Foundations actually pay tax. Even as a nonprofit, they pay a 1 or 2% tax based on their income for any 1 year. And I think it's fair and appropriate, because what it means is that all of the, at least this is what they tell us, all of the oversight by the Internal Revenue Service for foundations and the litigations is paid for by the foundation. So what you look at, all the people that are employed, all those that prosecute or all those that regulate, there's no cost to you as the American taxpayer for foundations, and I think that's a good thing. And even though I think it's interesting, they're number 5 on our list. Yeah, that's right, at number 5. Let me. I'm not going to go into the grant making, but I will tell you, as mentioned earlier, if you have an interest, you have a nonprofit, and you feel that you're within the purview of our guidelines, which are at lpomar.org, you should apply. We get about 1,100 applications a year, and we make about 425 grants. And they're throughout the state of Colorado. And let's go to the next slide. This is kind of where the grant making is done, and we're proud of the fact that basically we keep the administrative costs at under 10%. Now, there are people that work on my staff that feel that's too low, but I think it's appropriate to, if you're going to have a nonprofit, if you don't set a goal as to what the limit of your administrative expenses, someone's always going to have a reason, and a good one sometimes, maybe most of the time, to have it higher.